everyone, this is Deanna, the Organized Miss, and it is Monday. It's Monday, June 25th, and I thought I would just go through a little process video. I don't know if this is really a journal with me, but I set up my planner for the week, usually on Sunday, sometimes Saturday. Sometimes I'll prep it, just depends on what's going on, but usually on a Sunday. And so I've used Victoria Thatcher's This Printable is Where Flowers Bloom. I just love this. I probably used it two other times in my desk planner here. So this is from last July. I started it with One Book July. Worked on a new, kind of new to me planning system, which I thought I would explain in One Book July this year and kind of walk you through my process. So I've shared that I struggle with cognitive impairments. Still kind of waiting on official word on some of what causes it, but I've struggled with some nerve disorder and some headaches for a very long time that they have treated, and I believe the side effects from medications caused a lot of the damage that I had. So I'm on the other side of it and relearning a lot of things that I used to know. And last year's One Book July, I learned that I had a planning system my whole life. I've always kind of maybe brain dump books. That's pretty much my planning system. I would have a calendar and use the monthly overview. So my pre-planning here, as you can see, I haven't set this up yet. We have Vacation Bible School this week, and I'm planning a trip to visit my niece. Clearly, I have nothing else planned. But I would use a monthly overview, and I would write in the squares, and I would rarely use the weeklies or dailies. Is what I don't really remember it, but I flipped through a lot of old calendars. What I used for dailies were notebooks, tons and tons of notebooks, and I would just scribble everything. I always had a notebook or two with me, so it wasn't very organized. It wasn't a good system. So One Book July 2017, my goal was to figure out how to use one book for everything and not lose things, and I quickly learned I needed two books at a minimum. And I do have other, let's say, planners, so binders. So this is my weekly review, and it houses a lot of my projects, everything kind of in that binder. But not my actual, as far as time chronological planning. I do that, well, I start with this. So this is what I call my memory planner. It's my desk planner, and I use it so that I can see white spaces. And I learned for me that if I can block out my routines, so this would be my morning routine kind of, and then I can put in appointments and things that are scheduled, then I can go in and figure out where to do my tasks, and I base that on my energy. I base that on how I'm feeling. I base that on how I'm thinking that day, and then I take a look at my task list and decide, based on how I feel, based on what I think I can accomplish today, and based on the white spaces, what do I want to do from the list. So that is how I start planning. So I set this up on Sunday, and I just put in what I knew I needed to do as far as time-wise. And you can see, like, I use little stickers, and that is all visual for me, and I block it out. Sometimes I block out more time than I find I actually need it, which is fine. Then I can just fill it with another task, like this video. So it's Monday, and then I decide, how can I think today? Am I left brain or right brain? I will tell you, I'm not feeling very well. Had a headache yesterday, tried to rest and work on some junk journaling. So I'm probably not going to do anything that requires a lot of words or writing or thinking today. It's just the reality. I have one kind of a deadline here, I think, an article that I have pretty much together that I just need to submit by here, and I'm going to try to do that maybe later in the evening when I'm have more thoughts together. But I'm in this time right here, and I'm preparing to go meet with someone to do some things. I just blocked out this whole time here, and I found I had a little free time, so that's what I'm doing this. So now that I look at this, I'm okay, this is my day. What do I need to do? So in addition to setting this up, I also set up my left and my right brain planner. I set them both up last night. Now I mentioned it does take me a little more time in my setup, but it's worth it for me. Just like this, I can quickly determine, you know, just asking myself, what do I feel like looking at? Today, honestly, I know I need to read some words, but I feel like pictures. So then I just decide, sorry about that glare there. If I could, it glares even on the leather desktop. So I use this to kind of protect because sometimes I do crafts while I'm at the computer. So I would look in here, and I would just come to, so I have a tab for this week, and I will come in here and I will look. And I will look for the pictures, and I wrote some words there. So for me, if I put words in my picture book, it means this is the only thing that I really know I have to do today. I'm committed to this other person to help them, and we have spoken on the phone, so I will be going. This is my brother, and I'm helping him move. He had a fire in his apartment, so we're moving some things. So when I evaluate my energy and what I have to do, that's all I have the energy for. And of course, you know, planning. Pretty much always have energy for planning. I just got to determine if I can, you know, plan with stickers or plan with words. So today I know that there's not, and again, it's just because I just have a residual not feel well from yesterday. I do have a trip to the post office I need to make, which I did not write there. I did write it, because I know just looking at it, it's in my left brain planner. And so that's it. So I look at this really quickly, and I just know, I'm going to do this, and then I know for myself, I'm going to go to the post office. And that's it. If I felt like words and reading lists and making lists and all of that, I would open this planner, and I set it up. This is my daily section, so I do have a weekly back here. But I set it up because I don't know if I'm going to feel like doing all the things here. As you can see, I did give myself, this is the thing I know I had to do, which is why it was on in my right brain planner. These are the things that, depending on my energy, I would like to do. This one's going to get migrated, I can already tell you. This is for a fundraiser, so don't have the energy for that today. And I do need to go to the post office box and check the mail and send something out. I prepared it yesterday, so I will do that on my way here. That's it. This is all I look at. I don't want to overwhelm myself because I already set it up. So that's one of the good things about having an evening routine and a morning routine. This is my morning routine. Part of it is checking this. I set it up last night knowing that the mornings are a little harder for me. I still need to get up and get around and do things, but some of the planning and the listing and the writing and the words and the reading and all of that has to happen later in the day. So I will do something. This does not require a lot of thought. Moving, it's just lifting boxes and moving them, or pointing. Where, let's be real, my brother's going to move the boxes. I'm just going to stand around with the key, guys. I'm just going to be real here. I'll probably help a little bit. That's it. So now I know kind of how I feel, how much time I have for managing my actions for today. And then when I'm done with these two, and I get back into this area, I will come back and I will evaluate how am I feeling, how much more time do I have, and then do I feel like working on any, like this task? I'm just probably not. Already know. But I will evaluate that, and then I will look at, again, this is when I can read and I'm processing. I will flip over here to my weekly, and I will just look what's coming up, So this is a big project that I'm still working on, and I will evaluate what I need to do for that. And this is on my radar, so I'll work on this. So this is my card ministry I do every week, and I usually slot it in here, which I did on my big white space planner. I put a box down for that, just because that's a routine. I know I kind of do that. So that is it. Now I'm going to go through and my tracker, I will start filling this out later in the day. So that is it. Thanks for letting me share a little bit of this, I guess, how I plan with me, I guess, a little process. I don't know what to call this video. Kind of share my methodology and my processes and how I do everything through One Book July. Now, I didn't touch on the other version of One Book July, which is digital. I'm a paper planner just because it helps with memory and retention and focus and all of that for me. That works for me. I do use digital for ease, and that's in tracking my headaches. So if you've seen this planner before, you know that this is where I keep, among other things, my headache tracker back in here. And so I was doing every month. I've been doing this for, a year and a half now. And then I plot it on an annual calendar here. And so I can look at patterns. So if there's a mark, it means I had a headache. This means it was an all-day headache. This means I went to bed with a headache and woke up with a headache. So the square means, obviously, I woke up with a headache. As you can see, about, what is this, January, February, March, April, I quit tracking this. Now, I didn't quit tracking it. I have an Apple Watch, and I have an app that I started around here in February. And so I had become pretty proficient with using it at this point, felt comfortable to track that. I will go back and print out my digital documents and fill this in just because I like to look at it like this. But I use that app digitally to track my headaches. So that is what I've been doing. And so this month I want to update this tracker. I have a doctor's appointment around here, I think. And I want to update my tracker and then maybe be more consistent with using the digital in combination with my paper, my analog planner. I really loved collecting the monthly information, which not all of it gets captured on the digital, in the digital app. So I'm going to try to get back to that, I think, for July, if I can put myself back in the habit of the monthly marking and then update this. So this is what I'm planning for the digital. So as you can see, One Book July for me is not always one book. That's okay. I have learned that it's okay. I've learned what books work for me on what day. So thank you for letting me share this I guess process with you. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day. Talk to you later. I just set this over to my left.